Today, we are going to be taking a technical look at Hedera Hashgraph HBAR. We saw a lot of volatility in the markets yesterday, and that has led a lot of people to ask me what is going on technically with Hedera Hashgraph HBAR and its chart. Well, that is exactly what we're going to be identifying and addressing in this video. And you guys that watch me regularly will know that we have given price predictions for a number of altcoins, and Hedera, of course, is one of those altcoins. And we are going to see these price predictions through. Not only did we give a short-term price prediction of around about 27 cents, but we gave a bigger price prediction providing that Hedera follows the technical roadmap that we've set out for it, and it's doing so thus far, of $2. Now, wouldn't that be spectacular? Well, we'll see if we get there, and we'll be following along. We'll be continually watching the market as I am personally invested in Hedera to see if it follows the roadmap that we've set out for it thus far. And it has been. Today, we're going to look at what took place yesterday and where Hedera found support, also confirming the kind of blueprint that we set out for it, because this is very common. Once you get a breakout of resistance, a breakout of what we identify as a stage one into a stage two, often it's met with a retest. And I do believe Hedera has well and truly done that in a similar fashion to the kind of schematic that we gave in regards to Injective, which was another altcoin we had huge success for. They are very similar. Hedera put in a kind of double bottom. Injective did. It broke. It kind of came back. It was very volatile around that period of breakout. Hedera doing the same thing. But what you have to understand, and you will mitigate and sort of have a lot less emotions and stress as it relates to being an investor, is the broader trend that we are now in, having now broken out of what we identify as a stage one or a basing phase into stage two, which is an uptrend. We are going to show you lots of examples of stocks that we actually are currently identifying as being in stage twos. We're not going to show you the ones that we identified in 2023 that all made their targets, like what we expect Hedera to do, but we'll show you some sort of fresher ones to kind of get people used to what we're looking at here in regards to a breakout and why I believe we're now in a broader uptrend, or we are now in an uptrend. And don't bet against the trend, okay? There are going to be pullbacks. There is going to be volatility. That's the nature of the beast that we are dealing with in regards to the cryptocurrency space. But let's dive into it, guys, and let's go over to our Hedera price chart. Now, this is a nice clean chart. You know, this was what we were identifying as a break. And on this big volume spike, the largest volume, certainly in regards to KuCoin, it was significant across most exchanges, but we're using KuCoin for this price analysis. You know, you can see this was the stage one base that we had. There was a double bottom here. We do have a double bottom target that is going to see Hedera run to around about 27 cents. Once it gets to that 27 cents mark, we expect it to react in the same manner that we have seen the likes of Injective do, in the same manner that we have seen the likes of Bitcoin do. You know, this was the kind of roadmap. This was our stage one base, breakout on volume. You often, and we'll address this in just a second, do come and get retests and volatility around the break. But ultimately, what has now happened for Hedera is it is now in a broader uptrend. Also, we have the likes of Chainlink that is doing, these are all kind of roadmaps. Yes, they look a little bit different, but the general market structure is there. And we are expecting Hedera to make this target. Once it gets to this target, we do expect Hedera to have a little bit of reaction, nothing too major, before it then sets up a broader target to round about that $2 mark, which will be projected by this broader head and shoulder. So we have huge success with this pattern. We aren't yet at the stage where we can identify the head and shoulders in regards to it actually happening. This is just a technical roadmap that we've laid out that could see us get to that $2 mark, but we've got to get to 27 cents thus far. When we gave the price prediction, we were down here. Me and my Patreons have essentially been accumulating Hedera throughout this entire bottoming period, ultimately in anticipation that what was going to come was based on a number of different factors. So we do think altcoins still are yet to have their days in the sun, their time to shine, that real alt season, but they are progressing in a very positive manner. And when you are expecting something to happen and it happens and the markets are giving you that positive feedback, there's no reason to deviate from it. So what we did have, if we drop down the timeframes for Hedera, was we did have this break here that was on significant volume, confirming the breakout. And then we have had a lot of volatility surrounding the break. And I actually want to show you guys that this is exceptionally common. If we look at what Chainlink is currently having on the break of this key level of significant, which is a neckline, you can see it's actually having a number of retests in a Bitcoin-esque fashion. So Bitcoin's kind of volatility around the break of the neckline and we're not talking about this neckline that we've just broken, we're talking about the previous one, there was a lot of volatility and a lot of retesting. And this is kind of what Hedera is currently living through today. But this is totally normal. This is healthy. Remember, these altcoins are very volatile markets. There was a lot of volatility for Bitcoin yesterday. I think it sold off to the degree of something like 12%. Of course, altcoins aren't going to escape the wrath of Bitcoin. It's still the tide that rises and sinks all ships. But this is very healthy. And to go over to our injective schematic, you can see that when injective actually broke out on volume, you can see very significant. It also had a bit of a volatile time. And this is kind of where Hedera is at currently. I don't think you're going to get as much as a kind of double retest. Remember, these altcoins are very volatile. You have to give a little bit of nuance when it comes to looking at these altcoins. You know, resistance is going to be kind of relative, support is going to be relative, and you need to give it a little bit of leeway. You don't expect things to touch resistance perfectly, but understand where the resistance or support is and look for support around those areas, which is what you saw with injective. Again, Hedera doing the same thing today. But since we've broken out of this double bottom, Hedera in our assessment is now on its way to the upside. Remember, we have this smaller projected target by the double bottom of 27 cents, and then we'll look for that $2 mark. Not only do we identify this as a stage one, and we think this is a confirmed breakout into a stage two, which means it's an uptrend, we also have a technical pattern that was formed within stage one that is now giving us a target that could see further continuation and upside in an uptrend, which is what stage two is. What I want to do, so this video is really about me getting on here and just telling everybody everything's fine. Did you manage to buy the dip? Understand the broader trend that we're in. Don't get suckered into headlines and small time frames and sort of daily volatility. Remember, this is the crypto space. It's the most volatile asset that there is, period. And you need to be able to handle that. And I think the best way to handle that is understand the broader context, have a bigger time view on things, and understand what direction things are going in. And the short-term chop and volatility will be exactly that. You know, it'll be a pullback in what is a broader uptrend. I want to go over to some stage twos and show you some examples of other stage twos that we are currently calling in the stock market. So if we dive over to my stage two watch list, we'll only show you a couple. I have literally tens of these, up nearly 100 stage twos that I'm watching in the stock market. It makes me bullish on the stock market. A lot of them are smaller caps. Remember, we've got the bigger caps like the S&P, the NASDAQ, Microsoft, and all of these very right. We have a target on Amazon also. This is ARK Invests. So Coinbase was a sensational stage two for us. This was stage one. You had an inverse head and shoulders here, which has given us that $436 price prediction. Remember, break on volume, you come back for a retest, which is currently where Hedera is today. If we look at something like GitLabs, you can see break, period of volatility. Something like Sentinel-1, break, you come back and you have this volatile period, but you're ultimately in a broader uptrend. Something like Robinhood, which was a stock that we are long, you can see break. This is going high. So this is just stage one, very Chainlink-esque into what is now an uptrend. Spotify has been a great one for us. You get a break, lots of volatility, back for a retest before continuation. We can show you something like UbiPath, break on big volume, very compliant with a stage two. These are recent stage twos that we're looking at. Consolidation before we likely see continuation. This is Affirm Holdings. Many of these stocks, some of you may not have heard of. Samsara is one that we're expecting to do well. Break, volatility, just like what Hedera is currently going through, but this is likely going to go higher. We have the likes of Elastic, NV. Of course, semiconductors was one that we were looking at earlier this year. Break, retest, continuation. This is where Hedera is currently at before it sees a broader uptrend. You can see also the likes of a Cloudflare, break on volume, come back for a retest, volatility before then continuation. HubSpot, break, retest. This is a more recent one. Amcor Technology, break, double retest before we then see continuation. And then we've got a number of smaller ones. So Hedera is just at this stage of breaking out. It has, in my opinion, now broken out on volume, which has confirmed it, that it's now going to see it in a broader uptrend. We also have a double bottom target for it. Guys, in my opinion, there's no need to worry about the direction that Hedera is going in, because we think it's going in the direction that we are forecasting, that ultimately could see in the short term. I think maybe potentially by the first half of the year. In fact, I think it's quite likely Hedera getting to 27 cents. And then actually we look for a reaction around that level that could play and form a broader inverse head and shoulders that could essentially then see Hedera move towards the sort of $2 mark. That would be the prediction from that pattern. If it plays out, remember, it is if. We are currently at a stage where we've broken out of our base. We're now in an uptrend, and we've got to fight our way to that $27 mark, ride the volatility that comes with it, like what we saw yesterday. It's very confirming that on the pullback we had, look at the wick, and I'll show you that very, very quickly, that came in on the back end of this. You know, this is buyers buying up. You know, one reason you look for volume on the break of a key level is because it's more informed, larger money playing. Okay, that's confirming what we're looking at more broadly. And also look at where this reacted right around the sort of level of support that was previously resistance. This is a clear support and resistance flip. Look at these wicks. You can see buyers coming in, volatility, ultimately ready to send it to the 27 cents mark. So that is really all I've got for you guys. It was just an update. I had a lot of messages. What do I think about what's going on with Hedera currently? And this is it. You know, we still think Hedera has followed what we set out for it pre-break thus far, and we expect it to continue to do so. We're getting lots of positive signs, and don't bet against the trend. The trend is your friend. Be on the right side of it, and make your money in sitting in the move. Do not, or do whatever you want, but if I was you, I wouldn't try and trade the cryptocurrency markets with leverage unless you have experience, you know what you're doing, and a proven track record. If you don't already, maybe try paper trading or something like that. But just be an investor. You can make enough money in crypto by just investing. And if Hedera goes to $2, it's a great return. If it goes to $27, it's a great return. If it goes to 27 cents, it's a great return, let alone $2. Guys, that's all I've got for you in this video. If you've enjoyed the content, like it's appreciated. So as a comment, we just thought we'd give you an update like we're going to do with all of our price predictions. We don't just throw out big round numbers. We look at what we think is technically plausible, and then we'll follow things through. Also, if we do end up being wrong on these, admitting where we're wrong and being as open and transparent as possible. Remember, nothing I say or do on this channel is financial advice. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Thanks a lot for watching.